From super powered furnaces, armors and tools with special abilities, they can even give you things like X-ray and double jump, Waystones to teleport around your world, graves to pick up your lost items, and so much more. These are 10 Minecraft Bedrock add-ons that are free and great for survival. Up first is the Simple Waystone add-on by Enderman, and this is an add-on that adds in exactly what it sounds like, Waystones to your Minecraft game. They're highly configurable too, so you can set them to cost experience levels or be completely free, and they can also spawn in as structures in your world. I am going to just grab some. Part of why I like this add-on is, I don't know if you can see, but there are so many different colors and styles and designs of Waystone in almost like every block. There's the polished andesite, which is kind of like the traditional Waystone look, but I can just grab a few different ones and they're pretty much all the same thing. They just are Waystones, like from Minecraft, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and throw one down. I'm gonna call this stone, and then you can make it public to let other people teleport to it, and boom, you're already on this Waystone. And then let's say I want to make another one, Waystone redstone block, just, you know, a different style. Throw it over here, call it redstone, and then I'll make that public too. And I can go here and I can teleport to stone. Now, by default, you can get to these Waystones from another Waystone for free, but if you're over 1,500 blocks away, so if I go ahead and, I don't know, teleport myself 10,000 blocks away, for every 1,500 blocks, it's going to cost a level. You know what? I'm just going to throw one underwater. And as I said before, these are configurable things. I'm going to call this water. I don't know, not very creative. And if I want to go ahead and teleport to redstone or stone, you can see that it costs 3 levels. And you can have them be public or private. I can teleport back to water, and it will also always cost 3 levels if you're teleporting to or from a different dimension, which is pretty cool. I don't know, it's a pretty basic Waystone add-on, but it's really nice that it adds in such a variety of styles. But here you can see this is one of the ones that spawns in naturally, and this is kind of the structure that they're going to spawn in. And then you can just claim the Waystone, teleport to another Waystone. It's exactly as you'd expect. Pretty solid add-on. There's a link in the description to download it. Up next is Better Furnaces by Dustvane OFC. This adds in exactly what you think it would. More furnace options that give you better furnace stuff. And I'm just going to kind of show them off one by one. You can see they have different, I guess, speeds of cooking things, but also they have upgrade slots, and we'll get to the upgrade slots in a minute. But first, I'm gonna go over kind of just the general speeds of things. So I'm gonna grab a stack of iron, and I'm gonna just throw a piece of iron into each of them, and we're gonna see what happens. So this one, regular furnace for comparison, you can see how it goes. And then this copper furnace right here, boom, 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 boom. That's done. This seems to be maybe even slower than the normal one, but you do get upgrades. And each of these pretty much goes down by 1 second, except for the netherite one, which we'll get to in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw in this one right here. You can see it's a little bit faster than the last one. Go in this one right here. You can see it's even faster. It's by like 1 second, so it's hard to notice immediately. But this one, you definitely notice it here with the amethyst one for sure. You got the emerald one, which is super quick, and the diamond one, which is, I believe, 1 second to cook through an entire thing, which is pretty cool. So I can just throw this whole stack in here. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and take all this stuff out, and I'm gonna throw in a stack into each of these furnaces, and we're just gonna see how quickly it'll cook each of them. And then also we've got the netherite one as well, which I believe does 4 items a second, which is like kind of insane. So I'm just gonna quickly throw a stack into all of them, and we're gonna see how quickly I'm gonna try to see how quickly I can put them all in. Now they all have a stack, and I'm just gonna let them go for a second, and then we can see how much is in each of them. So this one, we've got 1, about to be 2. This one, we've got also 1, about to be 2. I think these are similar speeds pretty much. We've got this one, we've got 2. This one, we've got 2. This one, we've got 4. I feel like I should let it run for longer. This one's already like finished though. And then you can see this one is going pretty quick, but still not like the fastest thing in the world. Come on, there we go. This one also going quick. It's nice. It's exactly what you'd expect. They get better the furnace gets, the faster the furnace gets. And then you have upgrades. XP upgrade, which you get more experience, fuel upgrade, fuel lasts longer, speed upgrade, and then instant heating upgrade, which this one's just kind of insane. And we'll get to that one in a second. But I'm gonna go ahead and open up, say, this gold one and throw in this fuel upgrade, which you can stack the upgrades, I believe. Or at the very least, you can stack the speed upgrade. I'm gonna see, it might have to wait till there's a new piece of fuel in here to see how long it lasts, but then we can see how long it lasts. And I'll compare it, I guess, with this Well, no, it's not really a fair comparison because this one runs faster, but it seems like it's already lasting a little bit longer. I'm not sure. Then we've got the experience one, which will give us more experience. And you can see that seemed like a lot more experience, which a way you could maybe abuse it is by throwing the experience upgrade in, taking everything out. Although I don't know if it only counts for the stuff that you just put in there. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I don't know. Seems like I got a lot of XP though. Then we got the speed upgrade, which just makes things a little bit quicker. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in here, and you can see it's definitely faster. In fact, I'm gonna grab speed. I'm gonna grab 2 more of these and just see how fast we can get this one running. There we go. I wonder how fast it would be if we had one of the netherite ones with the speed upgrade. That would be kind of crazy. Anyway, let's say we want to make this go super fast. Well, that's what the instant heating upgrade is for. I go throw this in here. I probably need to take this stuff out and then wait for this to go through, and then boom, all of my iron all in one. Then I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in and see if it gives me the bonus XP, although I'm not really gonna know how much that is. That did give me a lot of XP though. It's very cool. Something though that you might not know about this is that, let's say I take one of these furnaces. Let me go ahead and just steal this furnace's everything. Grab some hoppers. Well, you can use this furnace as you'd expect with most furnaces to make your auto smelters and things. You can use all the furnaces to do stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, hold on. Throw this into here. I'm gonna throw in my coal and my iron, and you can see that it actually goes into the furnace. Hold on, let me put the coal in where it's supposed to be. There we go. You can see it does go into the furnace, and then if I go ahead and throw the coal into here. So I've got my coal in here. The furnace is running, I guess, and then I've got my iron. I could just throw it in and it'll go straight into the furnace, and then the output stuff will be straight into this hopper. It's very, very nice, very convenient. Yeah, it works exactly as you would expect. In general, this is a really neat little add-on if you want to upgrade your smelting experience, or, you know, let's say you want to have someone become the group dedicated smelter if you're playing multiplayer, and then they can focus on furnace stuff, and instead of speccing into tools and weapons, you spec into smelting, you spec into furnaces, which could be really cool, and it's a great way to get experience too. And yeah, I just think it adds a lot to the game. It's kind of lacking now. If you want more furnace power, you just get more furnaces, or I guess you can use a smoker or a blast furnace or whatever, but I don't know. I think this is a much more fun way to do it. It fits in with Minecraft's progression. It's pretty cool. Up next is Craftable Podzol and Mycelium by Voxel Forge Studios. This is a very simple one. It's exactly as it sounds, but it's very nice if you like building in survival. So you can craft Podzol and Mycelium a couple of different ways. First off, you can craft Podzol by doing 2 dirt diagonally and 2 leaf litter diagonally. Boom, you got 4 Podzol. It's very convenient. Alternatively, you can do it the other way. I don't know, did I do it this way? I don't think so, but you could do it either way around. Then same thing with if you want to craft Mycelium. You can use brown or red mushroom blocks. I don't think you can mix and match them, but I'll test that in a second. But you just throw 2 of those, boom, Mycelium, and then vice versa. You can do it the other way around. 2 of those. I don't actually know. This might be the same way around that I did it before. And you can do the same thing with red mushroom blocks. It's just very nice. You know, some people may be like, oh, well, you should have to grow mycelium. Well, then don't use this add-on. If you want a quick way to get these kind of blocks that you can build without having to run around your world and silk touch everything, this is a great way to do it. You still need to go out and get stuff like leaf litter and mushroom blocks, and you know, you still have to put the effort in to get all this kind of stuff, but it's great if you like building these kinds of things. And I'm assuming I can't do it with one of each, but I'm gonna try anyway. Yeah, it doesn't work. Still though, very cool add-on, very simple. This is a quick one, I know, but very nice to have if you want to build with these blocks and don't want to have to worry about silk touching them all. This is the Goblin Traders Definitive Edition add-on by Iced Fox Studios. Inspired by Java mods, this is essentially exactly what it sounds like. It adds in some new traders to your game that you can barter with, and they are, in fact, goblins. There are 5 different variants, but there are really 3 main variants. The Goblin Trader, the Vein one, which I believe is the Nether one, and of course the End Goblin Trader. You can even lead them around with fruits and veggies. So I'm gonna go ahead and just show you some of what they are, some of how they work. So the regular Goblin Trader, these guys look pretty chill. You can interact with them as you'd expect, and they trade different things. All of the different traders have their own unique trade pools, and I think it can vary from trader to trader. If I go ahead and spawn another one of these guys, it's gonna be a little bit different. Yeah, you can see it's a little bit different. And then you can trade with them as you'd expect. Well, I actually have apples, so I'm gonna go ahead and trade for an emerald, and then I can trade that emerald for 2 gunpowder, and I don't think I can trade gunpowder for anything. Some of these are really cool though. Like some of my favorite things that are here are kind of just enhanced versions of crafting recipes if you put in the work to find and take care of a goblin trader. For example, let's see, we can do an enchanted book and a fishing rod. You can kind of turn, I think, any enchanted book into a Lure 3 enchanted book by putting it onto a fishing rod, or you can get this pretty good deal, 3 leather and 3 paper for 2 books. I think this might cost more leather per book, but less paper. I don't know how good of a deal that is, but here we go. This one, 1 raw copper for 2 copper ingots, or 1 gravel for 2 flint. Pretty good. 4 rotten flesh for a coal. Can't complain about that. Well, and of course, 8 apples for an emerald. But what the apples really do, so you hold them out, and this is how you can get the traders to follow you. So if you find them in the wild, and you don't want to, you know, throw them in a boat, but you still want to like get them back to your crib, I almost said to your apartment, to your place of living, then you just grab an apple for the regular guys, and they will follow you. You can also throw an apple on the ground. I believe they will kind of hang out near it, which is pretty cool. Let's see, this other guy also, this has one of my favorite things. You throw a dragon head with an item, and it will give you a really good goblin version of them. So dragon head with diamond boots, you get Depth Strider 3, Feather Falling 4, Prot 4, Soul Speed 3, and Thorns 3. This is kind of like, honestly, the best boots that you could ask for. You can also buy music discs off them sometimes. You can repair an anvil for cheaper, which is pretty cool. I think that's cheaper. And you can even trade them things you find around the world that you might not be using, like turtle eggs or amethyst shards, for emeralds or other tradable items. And then similar thing goes for the Vein Goblin Trader, except mostly nether stuff. And the Vein Goblin Trader, I believe, likes carrots. Yep, that guy seemed pretty into the whole carrot thing. And then would you look at that, I can trade 8 carrots for an emerald. And then I can trade my emerald for... Oh, it's also nice, it just takes you to the actual villager trading thing. That's funny. It gives you some experience when you do as well. So let me go ahead and grab some nether warts. You can also get things like smithing templates for diamonds. Ooh, even wither skulls for golden carrots. That's pretty good. This guy has the ultimate hoe, or I guess the ancient hoe in this case. That gives you fortune 3 on a netherite hoe. That seems pretty good. I guess there's other hoe enchantments, but fortune's kind of all you can really add. Hey, don't run away, bro. Here, I'm gonna hold out the carrot so it stays near me. 1 glowstone for 4 glowstone dust. A lot of this is pretty good. Honestly, 64 netherrack for an emerald, that seems like not a great deal. 64 one thing for one of another, but netherrack's so easy to get, especially if you have a really good pickaxe. So that could be kind of goated. Honestly, seems pretty good. And then finally we have the End Goblin Trader. This guy will teleport around. This guy also likes chorus fruit. It'll follow you around if you have chorus fruit out. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to these. And yep, look at that, 8 chorus fruit for an emerald. So that's, hey, come back. These guys are really annoying to deal with, but they are deal withable. If you want to, you know, capture them and have them around, you're probably going to need something in a similar way to how you would capture an Enderman. Stop. I want to actually talk to you. And these guys seem to have very similar trade pools. I think they might have the same trade pools to the nether ones, which, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate. I think it might be bugged out right now, and I'm hoping that does get fixed, but it's not completely the same because they do have chorus fruit. Although I guess I don't really know how you get better than the nether ones, so I don't know. I'm hoping that changes in a future update, but it is what it is. There's also the boosted version of the Goblin Traders, and these guys are all cool. They're all sparkly, but other than that, I really don't know what the difference is. In all honesty, I can't find a difference in them other than the aesthetics, and I was looking on the MCPEDL page and I couldn't see a difference. So if you do know, please comment down below, or if you're the creator, also please comment down below. Overall though, this is a really cool little add-on. It feels very vanilla friendly. The trades honestly are really balanced and fair, which is why I wanted to feature it. And yeah, there's not too much wrong with it other than I guess the end trades and the boosted ones seeming a little weird, but I could also be missing something, so who knows. Up next is the 4 World Studios Gravestones add-on. Now you also might notice that I'm in Vibrant Visuals now. It may or may not have been like a month since I recorded the last part of this video, and now Vibrant Visuals is out. And also I'm still figuring out the settings for it, so it might be a little choppy, but it's okay. So anyway, I need to go into survival to demonstrate this. It's a pretty solid, pretty standard Gravestones add-on, but I think it's pretty good, pretty well done, and that's kind of the whole thing with this video. Some stuff that will improve your survival world, some stuff that is useful. But let me go ahead and just grab stuff so you can see that, oh hey, there's stuff in my inventory, and then if I just like, you know, do a little /kill, I die, and you can see I have a gravestone there. So I think a good balancing thing is that your XP still drops and can despawn, which I honestly think is fair, because gravestones, they're not necessarily overpowered, but they can be, you know, a little bit cheaty feeling to some people. So hey, now we've got the XP drops, but the gravestone itself doesn't. It's a very aesthetically pleasing gravestone too, and it says the name of the person whose gravestone it is. If you want to get it, you right click it and it breaks and you get your stuff back. And then I can go ahead and just try this again to demonstrate that it does continue to work. So I can go ahead and slash kill. I die, I respawn. I'm so not used to vibrant visuals, it keeps catching me off guard. I go down here and you can also, you can't break it, so you don't have to worry about accidentally breaking it. I wonder what happens though. I might experiment. Hold on, let me go ahead and hop into creative and do a little bit of experimentation. So I'm gonna grab myself a piston, I'm gonna grab myself TNT, and I'm gonna grab myself lever. Okay, so can I push it with a piston? This is a good question. I can push it with a piston and it doesn't seem to cause any issues. Can I blow it up with TNT? Oh, I accidentally right clicked it and that doesn't seem to work well. Wait, did I break it by interacting with it after I moved it, or is that, hold on. See, this is important things I need to test. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this stuff on the ground right here, because you can still see my name is right here. I might have broken it, but also it has been updated since I looked at it last. So I'm just gonna blow up the ground now because I feel like it. Let's see. Killed the pig, didn't kill whatever is here. So now my name is just here, but also that could be because I'm in creative mode. It could be something like that. Regardless, this is still a solid option. It's a very simple gravestone add-on, and I believe now it's configurable so it will tell you the coordinates where you died, which is very nice. Right now it probably looks better and functions better than it does in this video, and that's because this is a slightly older version that I have right here, and this, by the time this video is out, it'll probably be updated. Anyway, let's move on. And up next we have True Cowboys Minor helmets. Now these do exactly what you think they would do. They are helmets that let you see dynamic light style. It's very nice, and it especially looks really good, I think, in the new what is it called, vibrant visuals system, vibrant visuals whatever, because a lot of the dynamic light things just don't work when you had RTX on, and RTX already did kind of suck. But now that vibrant visuals is here, you can use these little dynamic light helmets, and they've pretty much got everything that you could want. So almost every type of helmet that you can equip, I think it might just be every type of helmet that you can equip has a mining helmet variant. And on top of that, you can have basically any color candle you want. That's pretty much how it works. It is essentially a candle that goes on your head. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some diamond ones for reference. I can go ahead and grab this black one right here, and it's got this really cool little design to it. It looks a little bit different. It's like 3D. And then once you start moving around, you can see it'll actually start lighting up your surroundings. I don't know, I think it's really well done. Now, the drawback of these kind of things is that they don't really usually work in water, because I believe, actually this one seems to sort of be working in water, which is really cool. I don't know how they did that, but a lot of times they'll work based off of like essentially spawning in light blocks and then despawning light blocks. But I don't know, it works pretty well. It works as you'd expect. It's literally just a candle that's on top of your head. And yeah, I don't know, I don't really have any complaints for it. I think it's really cool that not only is it's not just one item, it's every helmet and also a bunch of color variants. So let's say you want to go for like a pink purple kind of thing, you could do that. Or if you want to, you know, look blue on blue, you could get, I guess, a diamond helmet, and maybe the cyan looks really good with the diamond. Let's see. Yeah, honestly, that does look pretty good. It's a similar color. That's probably what I'd do. Or, you know, black with netherite, or I don't know, you could go red with netherite would actually look pretty cool, I bet. Yeah, there we go. It's funny to see the little bit of leather on there, but it still makes sense. And yes, you can add armor trims to these. I don't feel like dealing with it right now, but you can add armor trims to them as you would with normal armor, and, you know, still extra drip yourself out with customizable candle color and customizable armor trims. I mean, they do everything you'd expect. They're repairable. You can, I believe, repair them with candles or with the material that they are. Why do the creepers look so bright in vibrant visuals? They're very vibrant. It's a very good add-on, and I mean, as you can see, if you want to just say you have a lot of items with, you know, very few add-ons, this is a good one to add. But it also just, I don't know, it's nice that there are so many different variants, and then on top of all of these you can add armor trims. It just adds an absurd amount of customizability, and if you like customizability and functionality, this is probably an add-on for you. Up next, we've got Bedrock Java Saturation and Regeneration by Iced Fox Studios. This adds in Java's kind of food system that a lot of people agree is superior to Bedrock's, where you have to have saturation. I mean, I think Bedrock has its own form of saturation, but it's very different. But in Java, you need a certain amount of food to heal, and it kind of takes directly from your hunger to heal. And it's not making sense maybe if you haven't played Java or don't know much about it, but if you do, it basically adds the regeneration and whatnot from Java into Bedrock, which is honestly is such a better system. Anyway, to represent this, I'm gonna go ahead and take some damage. I'm gonna throw down some damage potions, and as you can see, my little thing is flashing blue in Java. I don't know if does it flash? I don't know if it does, but it's flashing blue when I heal, and then now my hunger's down a little bit, so I'm not going to be healing naturally. But if I want to heal, I can go ahead and eat something with high saturation like steak, and it will fill up my hunger and my saturation, and the saturation and a little bit of the hunger will go into healing me. And since this has a lot, now I don't think I have very much saturation left, but I am at full health. And if I go ahead and throw, actually that just killed me. Probably should have gotten damage 1 potions, but I'm gonna go ahead and hurt myself and then hurt myself again. Don't take that out of context. I mean this in Minecraft, in game, and now I need some saturation to heal. Go ahead and eat some steak, and boom, just like that. This is a very well functioning version of this concept. It works really well. It works exactly as you'd expect. And as you can see, I used up my saturation and some of my hunger, and I can go ahead and eat my steak and I'll be set. It's pretty simple. There's not much to say about it. It works with all the food in Minecraft. They all have different values and all that, just as you'd expect it would in Java. There's also other versions of this add-on from other creators. Lots of people have made add-ons trying to recreate this. It's not necessarily an original idea, but from what I can tell, this is the most up-to-date one that works fully functionally. There might be other ones that also work, but this was one of the more recent ones, and it works exactly as you'd expect. It seems pretty solid. I haven't really had any issues with it, and honestly, this is the kind of thing that I'd probably throw on any world, even like a vanilla world. This is just, it adds parity, and I think that's really good. Let me know down below if you want to see a full video on Bedrock and Java parity add-ons, because I think that could be pretty cool. There's a lot out there, a lot of things that will add in Java features into Minecraft Bedrock, and this is one of them. So if you want to check this out, as always, there's a link in the description. You can get it for free on MCPE. Do you want Minecraft to be harder? Like, not super significantly, but just enough that it's a little bit more difficult? Well, this might be the add-on for you. This is the Gas Mask add-on by System TV. Now, I've seen a couple of other Gas Mask related add-ons before, but this one I think does it really well. And it's got different versions of gas masks, and you might be wondering what exactly a gas mask add-on does. What do you need to protect yourself from? Because it doesn't add anything really other than the masks. Well, when you're caving below a certain level, you will end up having negative effects on you because of the noxious gases in the caves, and you'll need gas masks to prevent that. So there's different tiers, and I believe they have varying levels of durability because they will take damage over time. They're technically armors, but they take damage over time when you're using them. So I'm gonna go ahead and hop into spectator mode and just find a decent cave system nearby. I'm sure we can find one that goes pretty deep. Here we go. This seems pretty promising right over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just I guess I really didn't need spectator for that, but I'm gonna go ahead and hop into creative because this does work in creative. In survival, you can see, I guess I should probably do this in survival actually. You can see the effects more. So right now we're pretty high up in the caves. We're in a high up biome. It's not a huge deal. But then if I start going lower and lower and lower, is there somewhere down here that I can jump to? I think this is water. You can see that now there's this green gas because I'm, you know, in the cave, and I'm gonna take poison. I'm gonna get nausea. It's not enough to where I take a significant amount of damage. In fact, there's kind of synergizing with the last add-on. So I'm healing constantly because of my saturation add-on, which is kind of funny. And you can see how these add-ons work well together. But it won't outright kill you, but it will poison you, and it will give you nausea, and you'll get this green fog. And if you want to fix that, go ahead and throw in a gas mask, and all of it goes away. Now you are set. And the gas mask does function as armor, so you can put on different tiers of gas mask, and I believe they kind of function similar to different tiers of helmet. So for comparison, here's a diamond gas mask, and here's a diamond helmet. It's actually better than the tier of helmets, so you might as well just use the gas mask. I'm not sure if they are enchantable, and also you're gonna have the downside of it degrades over time, so as opposed to a regular helmet, which will just function always, with these, when you're in a cave, it will go down. But it just adds another kind of mechanic into Minecraft, and I think it's really neat. Plus, they're modeled really well. They look really cool. They look a little bit goofy, I can't lie, but they do look cool. Like, I don't know, it's kind of cool. They're very big, and they look very big on the player's head, but I think it's funny, and they're good looking. Like, the texture is good, the model's good. Definitely worth checking out if you want something that will make your game a little bit harder without feeling, I don't know, cheap, or like, oh, well, mobs have more health now, or everything deals more damage, or anything like that. This will just genuinely make your game a little bit more difficult with a new system, and they're fully craftable in survival as you'd expect. Yeah, I believe they are enchantable. I just finally looked. They're actually not too expensive, so I think it's honestly pretty fair. It just gives you, you know, when you're caving, you can't just be in full battle gear. It gives you ability. So let's say you want to spend your resources on stuff for mining. Well, you can not only just get a really good pickaxe and pickaxe enchantments and all that, but you can also spec into getting a good gas mask, maybe getting a netherite gas mask before any other netherite armor. I don't know, stuff like this I think is really neat. It's not for everyone, it's not for every world, but if you're wanting something a little bit more difficult, or you want, you know, just like a post-apocalyptic kind of vibe to your world, this might be it. This might be the play. It does look a little silly when I'm not wearing any other armor, but I don't know. I think they're cool. I like the way they look. I don't know. Pretty solid. Anyway, as always, there's a link in the description if you'd like to download this add-on for free on MCPE DL. Minecraft has two primary elements, mining and crafting. And do you want to craft faster? Well, this is the add-on for you. This is Fast Craft by Mod MCPE, and it's pretty straightforward. So essentially how it works, let's say you want to craft something. Let's say I'm going to go ahead and put my coal and my sticks right here, craft torches. Now on PC it's pretty easy, you can shift click, but some people don't want to do that, and some people are on mobile or certain other devices, and you want to just craft as fast as you can. Well, now there's this new button right here, and this is technically more of a texture pack. You don't actually need an add-on part for it. There's no behavior pack, but I still consider this an add-on because it does change some functionality. So you go ahead and click this little arrow, and boom, it makes everything that it can into torches. It's super convenient. Now, it works in a lot of other places. For example, if I want to go ahead and throw my sticks and my diamonds right into here, I can go ahead and fast craft myself a diamond sword. And as you noticed, it only crafted the one because that's the amount of resources I put in here. It won't craft everything in your inventory. And then now if I want to go ahead and throw in my diamonds and sticks, fast craft, boom, I have all these diamond swords, and it still leaves these here. It pretty much is the same functionality as shift clicking, except, I don't know, it's a little bit more convenient if you just want to push a button. You don't want to have to worry about, you know, using controls, or, you know, some people might have some form of motor skill difficulty, and shift clicking isn't always going to be the best play. In that case, this might be the thing for you. And it works the same with the stone cutter. You can choose what you want. Let's say I want to make all of my things into stairs. All my stone is turning into stone brick stairs. Boom, stack of stone brick stairs. Very convenient, especially if you're on mobile, or maybe you're on a controller. I don't know, that kind of thing could be really helpful. Some people play on PC with controller, that's fair too. And it also works, the main other place is with villager trades. So I can go ahead and throw my emeralds into here. I can choose what I want. I want these, and then I could normally trade for one, or I could click this other button and trade for all of them, and it goes until I can't trade anymore. And then boom, trade for all the bows, trade for all the crossbows, and you can see you get the general idea. And then I can just shoot this guy. Oh, I don't think he likes that. He seems pretty happy with the fact that I traded so much with him, but he's kind of dead now. So yeah, pretty solid add-on if you want to kind of streamline your Minecraft experience, especially if you're on a mobile or controller control style where it's not as convenient to just shift click and craft all of them. Pretty useful if I do say so, and it works pretty well. Up next is something that might be my favorite one on this list, or one of them. It's Rayon's More Vanilla Tools. This adds in a bunch of new sets of tools and armor that are really well put into the game that just give you some really cool things. So I'm going to start off with the Skullkite set, which is probably, I don't know if it's the most powerful, but it's definitely up there, what you craft with these Skullkite ingots and raw ores. I have put all the ingots in just so you can see the textures of them, but if you want to see the crafting for them, you can check it out on the add-on page and link in the description. So this armor set, if I go ahead and throw it on, there's a special ability I have. Also, just take a look at this armor for a second. It's so cool, and it's like animated. It's really neat. But I'm gonna go ahead and head down underground for a second here. I wonder if I have to keep, yeah, okay, I think you have to keep crouching until you find somewhere with ores, and then it will activate. And then it's got a little bit of a cooldown. And let's see if I can activate it one more time, because it gives you a pretty good like night vision too. Yep, there we go. And then you can see I can go ahead and dig my way down to this lapis, and boom, we got lapis. So this is kind of like the ideal mining set The equipment is pretty good. It's pretty similar to diamond, seemingly. In fact, it's all slightly worse than diamond in terms of mining speed. However, it does have one perk over diamond, and that's skulk stuff and deep slate are both mined significantly faster. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do this for the night vision. Oh, look at that whole vein over here. So if I go ahead and hop into survival and mine my way over, it is a little bit faster than a lot of the default tools at mining deep slate. You can see it's a little bit hard to see, but I am mining it significantly faster than you would with diamond. It's pretty quick. I also have a chance to drop XP as I'm mining. You can see I'm getting experience just from normal mining, which you normally wouldn't get when just mining deep slate, so that's pretty cool. And this is an ingot that you can get in the deep dark biomes at low levels, so it's pretty hard to get, but it rewards you pretty well with being able to find some pretty good stuff while mining. I guess the armor's not as good as diamond. It's somewhere between iron and diamond, between everything, but it does give you this special ore finding ability that's super cool, super handy. And then you also get the extra XP for mining. And then just for reference, I might as well spawn a husk and fight them with my gear. I mean, it functions exactly as you'd expect. They have these little cool particles when you kill them. Up next is the beehive set. This one is one of my favorites, not just because of how it looks and functions, but also, I don't know, it's super cool. So it does look really cool. It looks really fun. It looks like you're wearing a beehive. And then if I go ahead and say spawn in a husk and start fighting it, I get that little bit of saturation. I also get resistance to poison, which I can't really demonstrate right now. I forgot to get poison. But also, if I start getting attacked, I'll start spawning bees, and it will spawn 4 bees to attack, and they kind of do like a little missile attack if I get hit, which makes the bees themselves kind of like the play, although it's not really the best against undead things because oh no, it does seem to be giving them status effect. The poison seems to be working. So the saturation you get from killing mobs with the tools and weapons, and then the bees and the poison immunity come from the armor itself. It's technically not the best armor, but it does give you this really cool effect. And I like how all these aren't just like, oh, it's like armor but slightly better. They're like, oh, it's like armor, but it might be slightly worse, but you get these bees that will protect you, or I guess go and sniff the flowers. Okay, you guys aren't helping. Up next is Breezine, which is kind of a breeze-themed set of tools and armor. And this is very cool looking. If I throw it on, it might be the coolest looking. I don't know, they're all really cool looking. This one just has this really cool little aura around you. Big fan of that. But if I go ahead and say get attacked by a mob, they get hit with a breeze charge and it pushes them away. It's kind of like knockback for armor, is the best way I can put it. And then if I hit them, I also kind of send them flying, which is a very cool thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit him. He goes flying, and then I can also hit him with any of my tools and they'll have the same effect. In terms of tools, they're a little bit between like iron and gold. You really use this as like a very defensive kit for kind of getting things away from you. If you're, say, mining or doing something you just don't want to deal with mobs, this will kind of keep them off your back and maybe send them towards your friends, and then your friends can fight them for you. Because, I don't know, it's their problem now. Up next is the Dragon Forge set, which is also really, I keep wanting to say, well, this is the coolest one, but they are all really cool. Like, look at this one. You literally get dragon wings. You also get perpetual fire resistance while having this set on, and you get this new mace, the Dragon Forge mace. On its own, it works as you'd expect. It's like a slightly better mace. Also, the set gives you a double jump. Just thought I'd mention that. Sort of. You kind of like hold down and it launches you in the air. It's pretty cool. And it protects you from fall damage. Well, but this works really well with the mace because it gives you that extra boost you need for the bonus mace damage. Or you could miss your mace shot. Damn. Okay, I hit it when I hit the ground. Come on. I'm really not good at fighting pigs with the mace. Hold on. Let me fight a husk. I can probably hit the husk. There we go. So yeah, that's the perk of the set in the axe, or I guess the mace. You get this big mace attack thing. You get this big explosive attack if you're falling down, and it will kind of obliterate anything around you. I don't know. Super cool. Definitely adds some skill, and if you want to use it with a normal mace, you can before you get this mace. I would say get the armor before you get the mace. It definitely seems like it's more useful. The mace is really good, but if you can get a regular mace, or if you already have a regular mace, you might as well do that. Up next is the Enderian gear, which I forgot to grab extra items for, but I'll show you why that's important. So let me go ahead and grab my husks as well. And I accidentally did this. So as you can see, all of the Enderian items act as bundles. Every single piece of this armor and weapon you can use as a bundle, which is a really good way to kind of deal with inventory space because you don't have to worry about having bundles. It kind of makes every piece of tool and armor not take up inventory space if you think about it. Like every one of these I can put in another thing and it works, and it honestly gives you more inventory space because all of your armor now acts as inventory slots that you could put things, whereas normally you can't put items. Well, normally you can't put items, but you throw it into the boots, throw on the boots, and now your boots have this. That also means that if you lose a piece of armor or a tool, you also lost whatever was in it, which isn't ideal. Look at this though, super cool. You got this little 3D like pearl on the front. You got these eyes, the big Enderman eyes. But the main cool feature of this armor set is that if you sneak in mid-air, it'll mark your location. As you can see, you got a little ding noise. I might be doing this wrong. Either I'm doing this wrong or something isn't working. I wouldn't put it past it for an add-on to not be perfect. The idea is you're supposed to sneak mid-air and it will mark your location, and then you could go somewhere else, sneak again, and it'll teleport you back. It could be because I don't have experimental settings on this world. That could be something that requires that. I don't see why it would, but it definitely could. Anyway, if you're wearing any of this armor, you get immunity to slowness as well. So that's pretty nice. And then in comparison, your attacks cause slowness, as you can see, and it's a significant amount of slowness too. It's not like baby slowness. Hold on. Let me go ahead and respawn. I want my hunger back. So this is already a really good set because of all of its kind of variety of features. It would be nice if the little teleport thing worked. It's pretty cool, but I'm assuming that'll either get fixed in an update or I'm doing something wrong. So definitely check the add-on page for more information on that. We've got 2 more left. Up next is Prismarine. This is a armor and tool set that acts pretty much exactly as you would expect. Go ahead and throw it on, and you get immunity to water, or I guess not immunity necessarily here. I'll go into this lake over here, but it gives you the conduit effect as well as 2 extra hearts while you're underwater. So if you have this armor set, you could totally just live underwater. You could have an underwater base because you have permanent conduit power, and if you have the full set, you basically get double health while you're underwater. So I could imagine just having a water base is now feasible if you get this set of armor. You're kind of stuck with this set of armor and you're spec'd into it, but as long as you're in the water, you're locked. And you can throw husks in here and they can't do anything to me because I've got this armor on. You also get, and I'm gonna see if I can get, yeah, there we go. You get a 20% chance per piece of your armor you're wearing. So right now it's an 80% chance because I'm wearing 4 pieces to inflict thorns when things hit you. It's a basic thorns attack, and it gives you more damage per piece you're wearing. It also makes tools deal triple damage while you're underwater. So I should be able to 2-shot this husk. Yep. Even though this sword normally only does 6 attack damage. So this is a set that will make you probably the most powerful person in your Minecraft game while you're in water. It'll put you at basically iron level when you're not. It's not that good when you're not in water, but when you are in water, you can bet that you're gonna be the most powerful there ever was. Unfortunately, the tools still kind of suck underwater even with conduit power, but I would maybe spec into better tools. I'd stick with the sword, maybe the axe. Wait, the axe does more damage than the sword. Hold on, this might be an oversight. So I'd grab yourself an axe and the full set of armor. The armor is really the important thing with this set. The tools doing triple damage is good, but having double health and immunity to any water effects is kind of insane. And finally, the Shulkite helmet and finally, the Shulkite gear, not to be confused with the Skullkite gear. This is Shulker inspired gear. You can make it from, I believe, I want to say it's iron and shulker shells. Sorry, it's copper and shulker shells. Wearing the gear gives you immunity to levitation. I'm gonna actually just summon a shulker. And you can see if the shulker hits me, it doesn't even do anything. It also summons shulker bullets when I'm attacked, and it will send them back to the shulker, which is pretty cool. Let me go ahead and kill this guy. You can also summon them on demand. Hold on, let me get rid of these ones that are going to be hitting me. Although now they're going to send them off back towards this husk, which is cool. Oh, now they're just going for the husk. That's actually awesome. But yeah, if you just interact with any of the tools, it'll send off a shulker bullet, which I think the husk's probably too far away. But it'll just kind of sit here. And hold on, let me summon a husk for it to target. I don't actually think it's targeting the husk. I think, nope, there we go, there we go. So it will summon them. There's a little bit of a cooldown. But if you do want to kill your friends like this, that'll be very funny. And it also seems pretty effective. It'll just kind of send things into the air. So once again, another very defensive set of gear because you can just kind of use it to send things away. But that also does a lot of good damage from fall damage. It's also the most high durability, apparently, of all of the armor and tool sets, which is pretty cool considering it only costs copper. Although also the shulker shells make it pretty expensive. So I don't know if this is the set that I would be using personally, but I'm sure some people would really love this and it would be great for trolling. It's also just really fun. So yeah, this is definitely an add-on I recommend. There's a link in the description. It's definitely by far one of the coolest and best functioning kind of tool and gear add-ons that I've seen in a long time. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you want to check out any of these add-ons, there will be links in the description to the MCPE pages. You can download them directly from the creators who made them. That will also be where you can find any needed information about them beyond what I said in the video. I know I haven't uploaded in a while, but for anyone watching here, I will be uploading more. I've just been super busy with a lot of jobs and whatnot outside of YouTube, but I'm going to keep uploading. I'm also going to maybe do some Java mod related content in the future just to expand what I do. I think it would be pretty fun. I'm getting a little burnt out on Minecraft add-ons. There's a lot of good ones, but there's also a lot of really bad ones. And hey, maybe I'll make a video on the bad ones. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.